everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Welcome everyone who's coming on and all of my replay viewers. Thanks for joining. Hey guys, my name is Keely. If this is your first time with me, I'm the owner of lovehopeadventure.com, and I blog about the marriage relationship, and I try to give you practical tips of how you can have a deeper relationship with your spouse and be more intimate. And I want to talk to you about New Year's goals for how to be a better lover. I saw this really awesome idea over at thedatingdivas.com. The Dating Divas. You can go check it out. They have a free printable over there about some different things you can do to be a better lover this year. And so they had like maybe 4 prompts or something like that of some things you can fill into those blanks. And you can say, okay, before sex, I'm going to try to do this more often. And so you fill it in with the thing that you feel would help your sex life. There's another blank about how to be a better lover. In order to be a better lover this year, I'm going to do whatever. And they gave you a free printable for that and some really cool rewards cards. And you can print those off too. So if your spouse says, I'm going to be a better lover to you by wearing more lingerie, and they keep up with their, into the bargain on that, then you can give them some rewards cards. Maybe you can say, I'm going to give you a massage. Look, that's always the thing everyone says. I don't like massages, so that would never be my reward. Chocolate and donuts, yes. Never massages. But now that I'm counting calories, no chocolate or donuts either. I've kind of got no rewards left. But they have some really cool ideas over there. Pizza, yes, my husband's on right now. Pizza, again, calories. Let me kind of do that. The sun's coming in for some reason. It's kind of coming out right now. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about some ideas of ways, you too, baby, of some ways that you can be a better lover, maybe some ideas about that, because they didn't have a whole ton of ideas on the Dating Divas on that post. They only had a couple, and I've been trying to brainstorm some ways that you can have a better sex life with your spouse, and I wanted to share those with you, and I probably will write a post later on about this, but I wanted to kind of talk about it today. So some things that I first came up with is, first of all, you need to have the conversation with your spouse. Like, start there. Talk with them about what it is that they would like to see different in your sex life. Open communication about sex is very, very important. Now, you might already know what they want more of, and you've been kind of reluctant to give it to them for whatever reason. And that's a good place to start. So if your spouse is saying to you, I'd like to have sex more often, the number of times we're having sex in a week or a month is not enough for me, that's a great place to start. I will be a better lover to you by increasing the number of times we have sex, if that's what your spouse needs. Maybe your spouse has said to you, I would like to try this new position, and you've been reluctant to try it for whatever reason, okay? Because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, the sex positions I read about, I'm like, no human being can get into that position. And if we did, there's no movement going to happen. But honestly, what's the harm in just trying it once to see? It's better to try something when it comes to positions and go, okay, well, this really didn't work out, than to have the other person constantly asking for it and you never being willing to try it, because in your mind you're like, I know I can't bend that way. It's better to just try it, because that means something to them, and that is you being a better lover to them. Another thing that I was thinking about was to spend more time in sexy clothing or lingerie, getting dressed up for each other. This is not just something a woman should do. I know that there is nothing out there for men in the way of lingerie, okay? There just isn't. There's some really weird stuff that I don't think is attractive, and I don't even know that it's meant to be. But if your husband, you can help your husband pick out a nice outfit he can wear for you. He can intentionally wear things that you find attractive. You can intentionally wear things that he finds attractive, and then just let each other know, I'm wearing this because you think it's attractive. I have about 5 other thoughts I've been sort of playing around with today. JD over at Sex Within Marriage, he was on earlier. I don't know if he's still listening. He has some marriage challenges each week, and you should go over there. He does great on that every week, and he provides an awesome amount of accountability because he has readers who are taking the challenge each week. Last week he had a challenge about to spend an hour in sex, so that would include foreplay and being intimate with each other, obviously not in the act the entire hour. That would be a lot. There's JD right there. I think that, you should make a goal to spend 1 or 2 nights a month in a prolonged lovemaking session. That's really important. You should not always just jump into bed and be like, okay, now we're going to have sex and go to sleep. There needs to be at least kind of like a date night idea. Think of it as a sex date. You wouldn't have your date nights every single time you go out be, 20 minutes, eat something, and come right home, right? I mean, you're going to take time and do this. So creating sex dates is really important. Shoot for at least once a month. Twice a month would be good too if your time allows for that. I think you should, maybe you could say, I will try one new position every month. You might run out pretty quickly. I don't know. Maybe you've tried a lot, but that's another good way to be a better lover. I'd say that flirting more during the day is going to make you a better lover. I mean, it just is. That's right. JD says you can't survive on fast food or snacks, and that's the truth on anything, whether it's your sex life, your relationship. If all you're having is brief conversations with someone and you're never having a longer conversation, your relationship is not going to go very far. So just think of it like that. We need to have more intentionality with our sex lives. I think that we have this idea, what we see on television is everything just happens so passionately. It happens so quickly. People they're like fighting 1 second and making out the next. And I'm like, that happened, transition too fast. That almost never happens in real life. People just are throwing each other around having sex, and that's just not real life sex. I mean, most of the time it's you both get in bed and it's like, hey, you wanna? Yeah, sure. I mean, that's normally what happens in sex. And so I think that we do have to make sure that we are making it happen, being more intentional. Because what the movies show us is that it all just happens naturally, and it doesn't. Not in real life. In real life, we have to put forth that effort. We have to make a decision that we're going to be more intentional and do it. So flirting during the day, that's a really awesome way to engage and connect with your spouse before you guys get into the bedroom. And I'm not saying, sometimes I'll read these how to spice up your sex life articles, and they will all talk about everything in the world you can do other than have sex. So I definitely think you need to have sex. But there are some other things you can do to kind of like get yourself prepared and ready during the day. And flirting is just going to help you feel more bonded to your spouse anyways. I love dancing, so I think slow dancing might be a nice change of pace. It will get you very close with your spouse. If you don't like to dance, then maybe you can just have a prolonged hugging session. That would really help your intimacy with your spouse. Don't forget about those non-sexual touches and the things that you do with your spouse that isn't sex, but it's just non-sexual. And it's physical affection, because that will lead to a more intimate life with your spouse. Those are just a couple of the ideas that I have today. If you want to have some other ideas of fun things you can do in the bedroom as far as foreplay moves, bedroom games, things like that, you can check me out at lovehopeadventure.com/bedroom games, and I have links up there of a lot of different things you can go try with your spouse if you're trying to come up with something to do for a longer period of time, or maybe get some ideas of some new things you can do. If you want new position to try, I suggest christianfriendlysexpositions.com, and that's a great sex position website that doesn't have any inappropriate language or pictures. So it's christianfriendlysexpositions.com, and you can just run a search for that or use that as your URL. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to be back on some other point this week. I'm not sure, tomorrow might be a little weird for me, but I will be back, and I hope you guys are having a great new year. Really work on your goals. and I'll talk with you soon.